What if I told you that the most powerful, legally available compound for incinerating stubborn belly fat isn't some exotic berry from the Amazon or a dangerous black market steroid, but a molecule you likely already have sitting in your bathroom cabinet? A molecule so potent that it can literally shut down your appetite to zero while forcing your body to tap into its most secure fat stores for fuel? This isn't the opening to a science fiction movie. This is the reality of a substance called 5 milligrams, a specific, precise dosage of a compound that has been hiding in plain sight, misunderstood and misused by the vast majority of people who have ever tried it. For decades, the conversation around weight loss has been dominated by two exhausting extremes. On one hand, you have the brutal, willpower dependent grind of calorie counting and hours of cardio that leave you hungry, irritable, and ultimately prone to rebound binging. And on the other, you have the dangerous world of unregulated supplements and pharmaceuticals that promise the world but carry a terrifying list of potential side effects, from heart palpitations to liver damage. It's a frustrating paradox that has left millions of people feeling trapped, choosing between their health and their desired physique. But what if there was a third path? A scientifically backed, legally available pathway that effectively acts as a metabolic switch, flipping your body from a fat storing machine into a fat burning furnace, all without the constant gnawing hunger that has derailed every single diet you've ever attempted. This is precisely the promise of the 5 milligrams protocol. Now, before we go any further, I need to issue a critical disclaimer. I am not a medical doctor, and this video is for informational and educational purposes only. What I'm about to share with you is a synthesis of published scientific data, clinical studies, and a deep dive into the biochemical mechanics of how the human body regulates fat storage and appetite. You must, and I cannot stress this enough, you must consult with a qualified healthcare professional before considering any new supplement, diet, or lifestyle change. This information is powerful, and with great power comes great responsibility. Your individual health status, pre-existing conditions, and medications are unique to you, and only a doctor can give you the green light to proceed safely. With that essential foundation laid, let's pull back the curtain. The 5 milligrams we are referring to is a specific low-dose application of a substance known to science for nearly a century. Its primary function in its traditional use is entirely unrelated to weight loss. However, astute researchers and pioneering clinicians began noticing a fascinating and consistent side effect in patients using it: profound, almost immediate weight loss, particularly from the visceral abdominal fat that is most dangerous to your health. This wasn't just water weight, this was a significant, sustained reduction in actual adipose tissue. The reason this has remained a relatively secret weapon in the arsenal of enlightened biohackers and forward-thinking physicians is that the dosage is everything. The difference between 2.5 milligrams, 5 milligrams, and 10 milligrams is not linear. It's exponential in terms of its effects on metabolism and appetite suppression. At the 5 milligrams level, we hit what is known as the sweet spot, where the compound maximally stimulates the specific metabolic pathways responsible for lipolysis, which is the breakdown of fat, while simultaneously exerting its most powerful effect on the brain's hunger centers, effectively sending a signal that the body's energy reserves are full, turning off the desire to eat not through willpower, but through biochemistry. This is the core reason why it's so effective where other things have failed for you. It removes the single biggest obstacle to sustained caloric deficit: hunger. You are not white-knuckling your way through the day. You are simply not hungry. Your body is happily and efficiently running on the energy it's pulling from your belly, your thighs, and your love handles. The feeling is one of clear-headed energy and control, not deprivation. It fundamentally changes your relationship with food, not because of psychology, but because of physiology. You are no longer a slave to your cravings. You are the director of your own metabolic destiny. This is the revolution that the 5 milligrams protocol represents. It's not just another fat burner. It's a systemic recalibration of your body's energy management system. In the next segment, we will dive deep into the exact biological mechanism, the how and the why this specific 5 milligrams dosage works with such remarkable precision, targeting belly fat specifically. We'll explore the science of insulin sensitivity, catecholamine release, and the brain gut axis in a way that is easy to understand. So you can truly grasp the genius of this approach and why it stands head and shoulders above every other over the counter solution you've ever seen advertised. To truly appreciate why the 5 milligrams protocol is a game changer, we need to take a quick journey into the inner workings of your fat cells, specifically the stubborn ones around your abdomen. Belly fat or visceral fat is biologically unique. It's not just inert storage, it's metabolically active, almost like its own organ, pumping out inflammatory signals and hormones that disrupt your body's natural balance. This type of fat is notoriously resistant to diet and exercise because it's packed with a high density of alpha 2 receptors. Think of these receptors as fat storing locks. The traditional approach of eat less, move more primarily stimulates the beta receptors, the fat burning locks, which are more plentiful on the fat in your arms, legs, and face. This is why when people start a diet, they often see their face thin out first, while their belly seems to hold on for dear life. It's not your imagination, it's your receptor biology. This is where the 5 milligrams compound enters the picture with surgical precision. When administered at this specific dosage, it circulates through your bloodstream and binds with an incredibly high affinity to those stubborn alpha 2 receptors on your belly fat. But it doesn't activate them. Instead, it acts as a blocker. It's like putting super glue into the lock. So the original key, which is the hormone that tells your fat cells to store more energy, can't get in. By blocking these alpha 2 receptors, the 5 milligrams protocol effectively disarms the primary defense mechanism of your belly fat. Simultaneously, it supercharges the activity of the beta receptors, the fat-burning locks. It's a dual-action mechanism. It prevents new fat from being stored in the most problematic area while actively instructing those same fat cells to break down their existing triglycerides into free fatty acids and glycerol, which are then released into the bloodstream to be used as fuel. But the mechanism doesn't stop at the fat cell itself. The second, and perhaps even more profound, effect happens in your brain, specifically in the hypothalamus, which is your body's master control center for hunger and metabolism. The 5 milligrams compound has a powerful neuromodulatory effect. It influences key neurotransmitters and neuropeptides that govern appetite. One of the primary ones is neuropeptide Y, a potent chemical that stimulates hunger, particularly for carbohydrates. The 5 milligrams protocol has been shown in studies to significantly suppress the release of neuropeptide Y. At the same time, it promotes the release of feelings of satiety and fullness. The result is what users describe as a mental quietness around food, the constant background noise of hunger, the obsessive thoughts about your next meal, the cravings for sugar and junk food, they simply vanish. It's not that you have to resist them. They aren't there to resist in the first place. This is the zero appetite phenomenon that makes this protocol so uniquely powerful. It creates a physiological state where maintaining a caloric deficit is not a struggle, but a natural, effortless outcome. Your body is pulling from its abundant internal energy reserves, your fat stores, and because it has all the energy it needs, your brain doesn't see any reason to sound the hunger alarm. This is a fundamental shift from every other diet. You are not fighting your biology, you are working with it. You are leveraging a sophisticated biochemical pathway to achieve what willpower alone has consistently failed to do. This is also why the source and purity of the compound are absolutely critical. Because we are dealing with a precise neurological and metabolic intervention, any impurities or incorrect dosages can not only be ineffective, but potentially counterproductive. This isn't an herbal tea where a little more or a little less doesn't matter. This is a precision tool. The 5 milligrams must be pharmaceutical grade, produced in a facility that follows strict good manufacturing practices to ensure every single dose is identical and pure. This level of quality control is non-negotiable for both safety and efficacy. Using an inferior source is like trying to perform watch repair with a sledgehammer. You might make a change, but it won't be the one you want. Understanding this mechanism, the dual action of alpha 2 receptor blockade at the fat cell and appetite suppression in the brain, is the key to understanding why this approach is so different and so much more effective than anything you've tried before. It addresses the problem from two angles, creating a powerful synergy that leads to rapid, targeted fat loss, especially from the belly, without the miserable experience of constant hunger. Now, you might be thinking, this sounds almost too good to be true. If this is so effective, why isn't everyone using it? Why haven't I seen it advertised on TV or plastered across the front of every magazine? These are excellent questions, and the answers lie in a combination of medical history, regulatory frameworks, and the nature of the wellness industry itself. Firstly, this compound has a long and well-documented history of use for a primary medical condition that has nothing to do with weight loss. For decades, its application was confined to this specific therapeutic area, and the dramatic weight loss observed in patients was often noted merely as a beneficial side effect, not the main event. The medical community, rightly so, is conservative and slow to adopt drugs for new off-label uses without a substantial body of evidence. That evidence from robust clinical trials specifically targeting obesity has only begun to accumulate and reach a critical mass in the last several years. We are now at a tipping point where the data is becoming undeniable. Secondly, the wellness and supplement industry is a multi-billion-dollar ecosystem built on repeat customers and products that create dependency, not solutions. Think about it. The entire industry relies on you not getting permanent, life-changing results. If a product actually worked definitively, you would buy it once, get the result, and never need it again. This is bad for business in a model built on monthly subscriptions and endless new and improved formulations. The 5 milligrams protocol is fundamentally disruptive to that model. It's not a forever product. It's a tool used for a specific, finite period to achieve a metabolic reset. Once you have reached your goal body fat percentage and have adopted the healthy habits we will discuss, the need for the protocol diminishes. This is not in the financial interest of the vast majority of companies in this space. Furthermore, because this is a specific low-dose application of a known pharmaceutical compound, it cannot be patented as a new molecule. Without the ability to secure a patent, there is no exclusive multi-decade monopoly on its sale, which means there is no financial incentive for a large pharmaceutical company to spend hundreds of millions of dollars on the specific large-scale clinical trials and marketing campaigns required to get it approved specifically for weight loss by bodies like the FDA. The economic engine that typically drives such discoveries into the public consciousness is absent in this case. This has created a unique knowledge gap. The information is available in scientific journals, in the practices of cutting-edge endocrinologists and functional medicine doctors, and within the biohacking community, but it hasn't broken through to the mainstream. It's a secret not by design, but by circumstance. This is changing rapidly, however. With the explosion of information online and the shared experiences of thousands of people who have successfully transformed their bodies using this precise protocol, the cat is out of the bag. The anecdotal evidence is now backed by a growing pile of clinical data showing not only significant weight loss, but also improvements in key health markers like blood sugar control, triglyceride levels, and blood pressure, all as a direct result of shedding dangerous visceral fat. The reason you are hearing about it now is that we are in the early stages of a paradigm shift. The old model of suffer and starve to lose weight is being replaced by a new, smarter model of understand and optimize. The 5 milligrams protocol sits squarely at the center of this new paradigm. It represents a move away from brute force and towards biohacking, away from generic advice and towards personalized precision interventions. It's for the person who is tired of spinning their wheels, who is educated enough to understand that the traditional advice has failed them not because they are weak, but because the advice is incomplete and often biologically flawed. It's for the person who is ready to take control using the most advanced, scientifically grounded tools legally available today. So, what does a day in the life of someone on the 5 milligrams protocol actually look like? Let's walk through it, not as a rigid prescription, but as a illustration of the profound shift in daily experience. Imagine waking up and not feeling that immediate, frantic need to get food into your system. You feel energized, clear headed, and hydrated. You might have a black coffee or tea, but the urgency for breakfast is gone. This isn't intermittent fasting driven by discipline, it's a natural extension of your body's state. You are, quite literally, running on your own stored fat. As the morning progresses, you remain focused and productive. The mid-morning slump and the craving for a sugary snack that used to derail you at 10:30 a.m. simply don't materialize. Your blood sugar levels are stable because your body isn't demanding external carbohydrates for energy. It's smoothly and consistently liberating fatty acids from your adipose tissue. When lunchtime rolls around, you eat not because you are ravenous, but because you know it's time to provide your body with high quality protein, essential fats, vitamins, and minerals. Your relationship with the meal is different. You choose a large salad with grilled chicken or salmon, or a hearty vegetable soup, not because you're on a diet, but because that's what your body genuinely desires and needs for nourishment. The compulsive drive for pizza, pasta, and bread is absent. You find yourself feeling satisfied with a smaller portion, not because you are restricting yourself, but because your brain's satiety signals are functioning correctly for the first time in years. The food noise is gone. The afternoon, often a danger zone for energy crashes and vending machine raids, becomes just another productive part of your day. You might feel a slight normal hunger ahead of dinner, but it's a gentle reminder, not a demanding, all consuming force. Dinner is a similar experience to lunch, a mindful, enjoyable meal where you consume until you are comfortably full with no urge to overeat or seek out dessert. The evening unfolds without the pattern of mindless snacking in front of the television. The psychological grip that food had on you has been loosened by the biochemical reality of the 5 milligrams protocol. This newfound freedom creates a powerful positive feedback loop. As you see the scale moving down, especially noticing your waistline shrinking, and you experience this mental liberation from hunger, your motivation soars. This motivation then fuels other positive behaviors. You find yourself wanting to move your body, not as a punishment for eating, but as a celebration of what it can do. A walk, a weightlifting session, or a yoga class becomes a source of joy and strength, not a chore. The protocol creates the mental and physical space for you to build sustainable, healthy habits without the constant battle against your own physiology. It's a catalyst for a holistic transformation. It's crucial to understand that the protocol is a tool, not a magic wand. Its purpose is to remove the primary barrier hunger so you can consistently make healthy choices. It works best when paired with a whole foods-based diet, rich in protein and fiber, adequate hydration, and some form of regular physical activity, particular resistance training, which helps preserve and build lean muscle mass. Muscle is metabolically active tissue. The more you have, the higher your resting metabolic rate, making it easier to maintain your results once you have achieved them. The 5 milligrams protocol effectively clears the path, allowing you to build the lifestyle that will ensure the fat you lose stays off for good. It breaks the cycle of yo-yo dieting by allowing you to experience what it feels like to be in control, to be the one in the driver's seat of your own health and body composition. This experiential shift is, for many, even more valuable than the fat loss itself. It restores a sense of agency and proves that the problem was never a lack of willpower, but a biological system that was out of balance. The protocol is the key that helps you rebalance that system. We've covered the shocking hook, the powerful science, the historical context, and the real world daily experience. Now, let's talk about the future, specifically your future, and how you can transition from learning about this protocol to potentially applying it to completely transform your own body and health. The first and most critical step is the one I mentioned at the very beginning: consultation with a medical professional. Do not skip this step. This is not a hollow disclaimer. It is the most important part of the entire process. You need to work with a doctor who is open minded, who understands metabolic health, and who can order the necessary baseline blood tests to check your lipid panel, liver enzymes, kidney function, and fasting, glucose, and insulin levels. This provides a snapshot of your metabolic health and ensures it is safe for you to proceed. A good doctor will monitor your progress, adjusting the protocol if necessary, and will be your partner in this journey. Self-sourcing from unverified online pharmacies or using research chemicals is incredibly dangerous and a gamble with your health that you should never take. The purity, dosage, accuracy, and sterility are paramount. Once you have medical supervision secured, the implementation begins. The typical starting point is the 5 milligrams dose, often administered once daily. The timing can be adjusted based on your lifestyle and how your body responds. Some prefer taking it in the morning to control appetite throughout the day, while others find taking it before their largest meal works best. Consistency is key. This is not something you take sporadically. It's a daily protocol that you follow for a defined period, often several weeks to a few months, depending on your individual fat loss goals. During this time, your focus should be on leveraging this powerful tool to build rock-solid habits. Use the absence of hunger to dial in your nutrition. Prioritize protein. Aim for at least 0.8 to 1 gram per pound of your goal body weight, as it is the most satiating macronutrient and is essential for preserving muscle. Fill the rest of your plate with a rainbow of vegetables and healthy fats from sources like avocados, nuts, and olive oil. Don't fear these fats. They are essential for hormone production and overall health. With your appetite suppressed, hitting an optimal caloric deficit becomes straightforward. In terms of exercise, shift your focus from burning calories to building a resilient, capable body. Incorporate resistance training 2 to 4 times per week. Building muscle is a long-term investment that will raise your metabolism and improve your body composition far more than endless hours of cardio. Cardio is still excellent for cardiovascular health, but it should be the supporting actor, not the star of your fitness routine. As you approach your goal weight and body fat percentage, the transition phase begins. Under your doctor's guidance, you will taper off the protocol. This is where the habits you built become your new foundation. Because you've spent months eating whole foods, controlling portions effortlessly, and building muscle, your body and mind are now primed to maintain the new, healthier equilibrium. Your set point, the weight your body fights to maintain, may have been permanently lowered. The journey with the 5 milligrams protocol is more than just a weight loss intervention. It's a metabolic education. It teaches your body how to efficiently burn fat as fuel and resensitizes your brain to genuine hunger and fullness cues. It provides a window of opportunity to build a lifestyle that is sustainable, enjoyable, and free from the struggle that has defined your past experiences with dieting. You have just received a massive amount of original data-based information that has the potential to completely change your life. You now understand the what, the how, and the why behind what I believe is the strongest legal compound for targeting belly fat. The power is now in your hands, but knowledge without action is just theory. If this resonated with you, if you saw yourself in the struggle I described at the beginning, and you feel a spark of hope that there is finally a real scientific solution, then you need to take the next step. This is your call to action. Here's what I want you to do right now. First, smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, because I am committed to bringing you the most cutting-edge, science-backed information to help you take control of your health. Secondly, and most importantly, in the comments below, I want you to type metabolic reset. This lets me know you're serious about this journey and helps me understand what content you want more of. But I have an even more powerful resource for you. I have put together a completely free, comprehensive guide that breaks down everything we discussed today into a simple step by step plan. It includes a sample meal plan focused on whole foods, a beginner friendly resistance training workout, and a detailed checklist of questions to ask your doctor during your consultation. This free guide is my gift to you to help you get started on the right foot. The link to download it is in the very first pinned comment below this video. Go down there, click the link, and get your free guide right now. Don't let this moment pass. Don't get stuck in the cycle of learning without applying. You have been given the key. Now it's time to unlock the door. Take that first step, click the link, get the guide, book the doctor's appointment, and start your journey to becoming the leanest, healthiest, and most empowered version of yourself. The time for change is now.